Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of The Real Movie Critics. Real reviews by real fans. Joining me, as always, the repeat movie viewer, the Psycho Nerd podcast, all that fun shit that he does, the Psycho Nerd. Hey, everybody, I'm here. And he should be at the movies right now, but it was sold out. But he is still here nonetheless. Lord Scuba Cabra. What were you going to see again, sir?
Man.
Was it Master of the Universe?
I was going to go rewatch Masters of the Universe for the fifth time.
Fifth time.
Today's the last day that's in theaters, so
are you serious?
I'll give them some more of my money. Yeah,
it's only been out for 2 weeks.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I think today's the last day because they didn't have any showings for it anywhere else on the app.
My God, that is so stupid.
You serious?
Well, yeah, there's no showings of it anymore after tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh wait, I'm lying.
House.
Hold on, I'm lying.
They
There's no
usually
way.
reset the movies on Thursdays. Usually.
I thought it was. I read that wrong. I thought it was. Oh no, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, that makes more sense, actually.
Yeah, because we're getting Supergirl and Jackass.
Yes.
On Thursday.
Yes, we are. And that would be my next point is that next week there will be 2 reviews. I'm not sure if Scuba will be here for both, but we'll be reviewing Supergirl and the Jackass Best and Last. Is that what they're calling it? They said the last one was the last one. So, yeah, they'll probably have, they'll probably have Jackass 300 down there on Social Security. So,
well, don't forget in 2063, we've got Son of Jackass coming.
Yeah.
You know what? That's funny. They did say they were going to do that in the first one. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But do any of them even really have kids? I know Knoxville does.
No
Is
clue.
somebody actually fucking Steve-O?
I know Ryan Dunn doesn't.
Oh.
Dude.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's the kind of humor we expect. Anywho, with summer starting, we thought, I thought it'd be smart to do a summer beach movie. And I couldn't think of a better movie than Back to the Beach, which for myself and the Psycho Nerd is a nostalgic time capsule that we loved growing up and love it even more now. But Back to the Beach premiered on August 7th, 1987, directed by Lyndall Hobbs. I've never heard that name before. With a budget around $12 million, that's kind of high for a comedy beach movie, especially for even in the 80s. That's kind of high. Opening weekend was $3.3 million with a box office of $13.1, so they made the money back. Not quite a hit. I think it was more of a sleeper hit once it hit VHS. But this movie stars Annette Funicello, Frankie Avalon, Connie Stevens, Lori Loughlin as Sandy. I think Scuba was watching it yesterday and he was like, dude, Lori Loughlin is fucking hot. I'm like, duh. I think she's even hotter now. She's like, what, 80? Something like that.
And she's had prison time.
That's true. She's a hardened criminal now.
Mm-hmm.
We have Damian Slade as Bobby, and I'm going to say that I've thought this for a very long time. Bobby steals the show in this movie. Bobby is the comic relief, 100%.
Yeah, whenever he's on screen, because he's very prominent in the first half, but then the second half, he's not really there as much anymore, unfortunately.
True. With Tommy Hinkley playing Michael, who I believe, I could be wrong, but I think he was the voice of Michelangelo on the Ninja Turtle cartoon in the 80s. I might be wrong. I didn't research that, so somebody can do that for me. But we have a ton of cameos. Oh, you're doing it now as we speak? Fine.
Mm-hmm.
We have cameos by Pee Wee Herman, who does Surfin' Bird, which I can't hear that song and not think of Peter Griffin. Barbara Billingsley, Don Adams, Stevie Ray Vaughan, the Texas Treasure himself, Dick Dale, Jerry Mathers, Bob Denver, Tony Dow, and of course, Alan Hale Jr. Did I miss anybody, Psycho?
No. Did you mention Ed Burns? Because he's.
I did not mention Ed Burns.
Yes, Ed Burns plays the valet when they get to the club or whatever. And he was actually, we were talking about Grease before, he actually plays Vince Fontaine from Grease. Thank you very much.
Yes, he does.
Who tried to slip a Mickey and what's her name's drink. I forget her fucking name, but she was smoking hot. Fun facts about this movie. The studio did not hold the rights to the names used in the original 1960 beach blanket movies, which is why Annette is just called Annette, and Frankie is never called by his name. He's only called by the Big Kahuna. The beach scenes were shot at Paradise Cove in Malibu, which is where many of the 1960s beach party movies were filmed at. I've actually been to that beach. It's really nice. This was Bob Denver's last movie, though he did appear in 8 TV shows after Back to the Beach, but he mostly played himself for Gilligan. So he's kind of typecasted after Gilligan. This is one the Psycho will get. The song I Hate You by Kirk Thatcher appears in both Back to the Beach and Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. He wrote the song specifically for the Star Trek movie, but he was paid more in royalties for use of the song in Back to the Beach.
Which is funny. That's
Yeah,
funny.
it is funny. And Star Trek came out the year prior. It came out right after the Challenger explosion, which is why they have that little tribute to the Challenger astronauts before the movie starts. Annette Funicello, at the time the movie came out, was the star in a series of commercials for Skippy Peanut Butter, which can be seen at the beginning of the movie when she's putting 2 jars away in the pantry. And one final fun fact that I just found is that there was plans to make a new movie, or make a sequel, I should say. They were, Funicello and Avalon were preparing to make a sequel where their characters go on a safari in Africa, but she was diagnosed with MS like halfway through production of this movie, so she had to pull out, but she did go on the Back to the Beach tour with Avalon on stage. And I do remember Annette Funicello was on the cover of, I believe it was People, when she was diagnosed with MS, and she became like a big spokesperson for the disease. But I know this was Scuba's first time watching this particular movie with no grades or nothing, but what was your initial impression of this movie?
All right, so you guys know the kind of movies I'm in, that I'm into.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I have a very eclectic taste when it comes to music and movies. And so this falls in one of those weird categories of film where it's kind of a musical, but it's not really a musical.
Yeah.
It has musical numbers in it. I grew up loving the old beach movies with Frankie and Annette. Like, I used to watch those all the time. I used to watch the old school Mickey Mouse clubs, and I had never seen this movie before. This was my first time watching it. I thought maybe I had seen it, but there was nothing that stuck out to me that even gave me any kind of like, I remember this at all. It's one of those movies where you really have to enjoy a genre of film to appreciate it. Did I hate it? No, I didn't hate it. Was it cringe? Yeah, it was very cringe. It's a very cringe movie, but it's fun. It's not one of those cringe movies where it's like, I don't want to watch this. I wouldn't watch this again. I would definitely watch it again. I might actually put it on again today for Mel to watch with me because she didn't get to watch it. But I enjoyed it, man. It's not one of those movies where I'm like, my God, I love this movie so much. It's a game changer for me. But it is an enjoyable movie if you're into campy films that have a fuck ton of cameos from old school, stars in it. It's essentially what it was. Pee Wee Herman had no business singing. I love Pee Wee. I love Pee Wee to death. I love him. That, for me, was absolutely the most annoying part of this movie.
Shit.
And I almost wanted to fast forward through it because there was a point where he was singing the song, but he wasn't even singing the song.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a theme in the movie too.
And I'm like, and I did notice it in other ones also, but I'm like, maybe it's just an editing error or whatever. And then with Pee Wee, like, I was just like, okay, that's like right in your fucking face. But it's an enjoyable film, man. It's like it tries to go back to those like old school wholesome days of film, but add kind of, only thing it was missing was like boobs, and it could have totally been like one of those like 80s raunchy beach films,
Yeah.
But it's a very enjoyable film. I enjoyed watching it. It's not a masterpiece, but it is an enjoyable film if you're into these kinds of movies. If you're not, you're going to hate it. Like, it just hands down. If you don't even know who Frankie and Annette are,
yeah,
there's no point in watching. Like, I wouldn't show this to Sam and Damien and expect them to be like, oh my God, this is a good movie. Because they have no idea who the fuck Frankie and Annette are.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't get... You have to know the whole, and not everything, but you have to know the lore of Frankie and Annette to understand this movie. Granted, he tells you, Bobby tells you, their story and this and that. Yeah. And so he does see it, but to enjoy it thoroughly, I think you have to know the lore already, at least a little.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. Now, when you said it was cringe, can you give besides the Pee Wee Herman performance, what was cringe to you?
Some of the acting in it is just I
think that was the point, though, is they were making
I'm aware they're making fun of stuff, but it's like it's like Stan Helsing. It's a very cringe fucking movie, and they're trying to. It's a parody. It's one of those.
I know what it is, but no thanks.
And so it's like the acting in it it's purposely supposed to be bad. It's purposely cringe, but it just makes it even more cringe because it's not coming off as such.
And I do think this is one of those movies that if you didn't watch Gilligan's Island or Leave It to Beaver, or you knew, Jesus, what's the name of that show Don Adams was in? They made that Steve Carell did the movie. Which one?
Get Smart.
That's the one. Yeah, if you didn't watch those, you didn't know who these. Now, if you're from Texas and you don't know who Stevie Ray Vaughan is, you need to get the hell out. Seriously.
Oh, dude, Stevie Ray was, I mean,
you know what?
Fucking legend.
Yeah.
As a kid, this was my introduction to Stevie Ray. Mom had to explain who he was when him and Dick Dale are on stage playing that little piece of music, and she was like, "Oh my God, Stevie Ray!" I'm like, "Who's Stevie Ray?" And she had to kind of explain it to me, and later in life, I started listening to his music. I was like, "Dude, that guy's a badass. He doesn't play a guitar; he makes love to the guitar."
Yeah, he does. He's damn unfortunate when he passed away. I forget, that was like a decade ago or so. It's been a minute, but and I agree. You need to be a fan of a specific genre. I mean, this is written as a parody movie. It's making fun of itself and the beach movies that came out in the 60s that they were all in. Frankie, Annette, and Connie were all in those movies. Frankie and Annette were the goody-goody couple, and then you had Connie, who wanted Frankie but could never get her because she was the bad girl. And she talks about that in the movie. So, but I do love how we get the... Which one?
I did like the scene where Frankie's like, wait, he's in his 20s?
He could be my kid.
He could be my kid. And she's like, we never did anything. He's like, we didn't?
We didn't? And that's fair, because there's plenty of people that I'm sure all three of us are like, didn't we hook up? No. Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you sure? I remember being there. But it's, I just love how he plays it off like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
when
movie
he
opens
comes up with
on a plane. Bobby's talking about his mom and dad, of course, Frankie and Annette, who, if you didn't know who they were, actually, I take it back. If you are not a fan of those particular movies, they kind of give you a quick little recap of who they are. So, and of course, Frankie Avalon was also in Grease 1 with a Beautiful Dropout song that he did. We get the quick intro, we get interaction with the flight attendant who figures out, oh my God, you're that hair, that face, you're Annette. Like the reference to Annette's rack is made quite often. And it's even referenced in Stand By Me at one point too, when they're like, and I noticed the A and the E are starting to pin on the ends. But then we get the whole dinner, then the accident story. Like, let me spare you the trouble. He got into a surfing accident and he hasn't surfed since. Like, it's quick to the point, right? And the I guess the slapstick or the interaction between Bobby and Frank or Kahuna is freaking hilarious. Like and this is in the 80s where you could beat the shit out of your kid and get away with it. I'm gonna hit you in the back of the head with a fucking rock. Shut the fuck up, And people are like, whatever, the kid's a fucking nuisance. But the part that gets me the most is when they're like, we're stopping in LA to see your sister Sandy. And then Frankie sends them and goes, Sandy. And they're like, no, my little baby, my bunny, Wunny, my lammy. Everybody starts puking in their barf bags. And then the close-up of Bobby, this is why we don't travel.
Yeah, I've always loved the opening of this movie, between Bobby's narration to everything that's going on, to the humorous peanut butter discussion we get at the house.
Yes.
I love the whole thing about him being scared of lunch. I thought that was freaking hilarious. Man, I've always had a lot of fun watching this movie, and I also like the opening credits as well with the music that's playing. I mean, I just have so much fun watching this movie. For real.
And keep in mind, the opening song, Catch a Ride, Eddie Money. I did not know that until I was doing research. It's like, Eddie Money? Fucking A. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things you'll find on his best of CDs or anything. It's kind of just there. He just did it. Eddie Money, want to do the song? Okay, sure. I'm from New York, but what the fuck? I'll do it. So we end up in LA. Parents don't know that Sandy is living with Michael. They don't know this. And Sandy is writing a letter. That's how old this movie is. She's writing a letter. It's like, it's cheaper to send my parents a letter than to call them on the phone long distance.
1-800-COLLECT.
Well, this is before 800-COLLECT. This is like,
I know.
You're paying $1 a minute at this point. All this fiasco goes on. Freaking Frankie's like, I'm going to find this dude, because Sandy just throws his shit out the window, throws him out the window and his surfboard. We get introduced to the bad guys in the movie. They're a beach gang, so to speak, with Zed rules all. Just this horrible interaction. And then we start getting the cameos when they go to the bar where Sandy works at. And if you notice, it says Dick Dale in at least 2 of the Dale tones. At least 2.
That's funny as all hell.
I always thought that was hilarious. Annette's always tried to get Frankie to have fun, and he's so uptight. Won't do it. Then we meet Connie, and Connie flips it and goes, he sings a song, he does his thing.
Oh, don't forget he kisses her right in front of fucking...
Well, she kissed him. Let's be fair. But yeah,
he didn't
really
stop her, though.
He didn't
stop her.
No, he did not. He's like, by the way, this is Annette. You know Annette. I didn't mean that kind of Annette, but okay. It gets flipped to where he wants to go, she wants to have fun. Now he wants to have fun and she wants to roll the fuck out. So the roles are reversed. They have a fight. Kahuna gets fucking shitty drunk to the point where he meets Michael with a hangover. And they finally have their interaction. Frankie tries to choke him out. Are you banging my daughter? You know, when you were a tweener back in the day, I know you tried to hook up with her mother. As a matter of fact, only on our honeymoon. Come on, man, I'm a guy. All right, every waking minute. Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
I know. Fuck yeah. Who wouldn't want to bang freaking? But here's a would you rather? Would you rather bang Annette or Connie? Would you rather?
Connie, hands down. Connie.
I'm gonna go Annette because then I'll get a nice peanut butter sandwich afterward.
And you can even get the chunky.
Yeah.
All right, I'll flip it on you. Sandy or Annette? That's a much tougher question.
I'm gonna go Sandy. Boobs aren't everything.
That's true.
Scuba's got to think about it for a minute.
The Scuba's thinking over there. I smell smoke.
Well, he's probably thinking about that.
I'm imagining the three-way I'd have with Lori Loughlin and Funicello.
Damn.
I don't know, man. I honestly, I can't choose because they're both smoking hot. Annette was my age in this movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. They're both smoking hot. I can't
pick
choose.
One. You can only pick one.
I'm gonna go Annette.
All right, fair enough. Now I'm gonna throw a curveball here. You can have Annette, you can have Connie, you can even have Sandy. But I'm gonna throw a curveball here. Watching Leave It to Beaver when I was a kid, I always had a thing for Barbara Billingsley. I know that sounds weird, but I've always had a thing for her. And in this movie, I would totally do her. She was like 60 in this movie, and I would totally fuck her.
Well, she was Nanny in Muppet Babies. Don't forget about that.
That's true. She was still a part of our childhood.
Yep.
But then we start, after they have their fight, we just see the shenanigans that occur, and that's having fun. Frankie's trying to figure out what he wants to do. This movie introduced us to some of these characters. This movie introduced me to two things that I would love later on in life, and that is ska music with Jamaica Ska, which is a great fucking song, and Doc Martens, which I've never owned a pair of. Because the saxophone player's wearing those blue Doc Martens. And I've always wanted a pair. I've never owned one. And I'm in my 50s now. If I buy a pair now, it's just sad. So I will never own a pair of Docs. And I've accepted that. You kind of made a face when I said Jamaica Ska, Scuba. You didn't like that song?
Look, man, the music in this, was it catchy? Yes. That actually was cringe for me as well. That whole number.
It's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Man. I don't know. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I know what it is. Psycho, I know what it is. Scuba doesn't know how to Jamaica Ska.
I don't know how to Jamaica Ska.
Apparently not.
Annette
Even though she explained it. Yeah, she explained it very thoroughly.
But I know how to twist. But I can twist, so I'm good.
Anyone who's ever seen Pulp Fiction knows how to twist.
That's true.
Just saying.
That is fact. So we have all these shenanigans that are going on. They end up having a big old beach party with the harbor master doesn't want to have a party. And then they convince him, oh, they're having a harbor master of the year. Who does that? Is that even a thing? But he fucking falls for it. They have this big fucking party. There's this douchebag named Troy who's been trying to hit fucking Annette since he fucking met her. And she plays into that to get Kahuna a little jealous. I do love the scene when she's surfing with him. They come back and her hair is still dry and his hair is soaking fucking wet. After all that, completely dry. And then Troy and Kahuna have their moment. They're fighting each other, or they're having a disagreement. And he's like, your shoes untied, and then fucking belts him. And she's like, you know what? You are so fucking stupid. And he's like, stupid? You want to talk stupid? This moron's not even wearing shoes. And you hear someone in the back cracking up.
I think Scuba's not having a fun time. What do you think?
No, it's not that. I'm just thinking of like things in the movie where I was just like, Jesus, stupid. That made me laugh though, like in a good, the part that made me laugh, fucking probably harder than I should have because it wasn't even funny, but I thought it was fucking hilarious, is when Big Kahuna's surfing that wave at the end and the dude fucking walks up to him to get his autograph and then fucking walks away. They could have had him like surf up, but he just fucking walks up and then walks away.
This was just a typical beach party movie where they have a disagreement, they have a surf off, the good guys win, everybody's happy. But did you notice when they're having a disagreement and Zed and the whole group are arguing about whose beach it is, and then freaking Kuhn is saying, how about we settle this in the good old days, huh? then you faintly hear a guy go, pajama party? It's faint, but it's there. And it makes reference to the pajama party they have at the beginning of the movie with Annette and all the girls.
Fun.
Yeah, that was actually kind of fun. I'm like, who wears that to bed? Jesus Christ, how could you sleep in that fucking shit?
Time to be alive.
Yeah. But again, this is a campy, corny, making fun of itself movie. Is it a masterpiece? Not by any means.
Nah.
But is it a movie that if you are a child of the 80s, if you are Gen X or even a millennial, I think you'd enjoy this movie. This is a great fucking movie. It doesn't take itself too serious, is what I'm saying. It's not in the level of Airplane or Naked Gun, but it's a funny movie, makes fun of itself, and it's making fun of a genre, which all of us are fans of. We all like the Mel Brooks movies, and of course, we like the Naked Gun and Airplane movies. So I think anybody who is our age, I think they would enjoy that. Would you all agree with that?
Yeah, but like I said, you have to know who Frankie and Annette are. You have to know about the past movies. Not really know about the past movies, but know that they did these series of beach film. You know what I mean? And so if you don't even, I mean, because there's people at my age that don't know who Frankie and Annette are.
That's fair.
You know? So they probably wouldn't find it as entertaining as that. So I think as long as you know who Frankie and Annette are, you're good.
Yeah, that's fair. And even then, you can always Google it and find videos on YouTube or something, just kind of doing which is what we're going to do for Scuba when we do Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. We're going to set him up for success for this one because we dropped the ball on First Contact. So, but to be fair, there was way too many episodes of Star Trek he had to catch up on for that particular movie to make sense. Wrath of Khan is simple. Space Seed, and then the movie. That's all you need.
Pretty much. Can't go wrong with that.
And to be fair, anything and everything that happens in the motion picture it's never talked about again. Like, we never hear about V'ger ever again. So, never. So, Rotten Tomatoes. Scuba Steve, since you like to have the high midichlorian count and guess these on the dot, but yet you've never seen this movie, so you really didn't have a reference point. What do you think the critics gave this movie?
I don't see critics liking this movie, but maybe. I'm going to say in the 30s. I don't know.
Okay. What about you, Psycho?
I'll be a little bit more generous, but not much more because I agree with him. I don't think the critics would have enjoyed this one too much. I'm going to say, I don't know, 40, 45.
It's actually 74%. That's
What?
rather high. Yeah. That's rather high.
That's insane.
That being said, we know the trends that we've seen on Rotten Tomatoes, the popcorn meter, the fans. Psycho, what do you think they give this movie?
I don't know whether to go higher or lower on that one. I didn't expect the 74%. Fuck. I don't know. I'll say 60. Shit, I don't know. 64. I don't know.
I'm going to pull a Price is Right and say 62.
We're going to split the difference. 63%. So y'all were right on it. Like right around it. So... which is weird because usually when critics give a high score, the audience score is lower. Yep, that's fact. That's fair. And we've seen that trend on here before. Yeah. So, but here at the Rib Movie Critics, we don't give a fuck about Rotten Tomato scores. We want to know what we think about this movie. So, took me a minute to think about this one, and this one, it was staring me right in the face. I wasn't going to say surfboards, but that's way too fucking obvious. So, 1 out of 5 jars of Skippy peanut butter. I'm going to start with Laura Scuba.
You could have went with surfboards. You could have went with surfboards.
I could have, but that's too fucking obvious. It's too obvious.
It's a beach movie. Come on.
All right, you know what? Fuck it. I will put surfboards just because.
1 out of 5 bikini tops. 1 out of 5 fucking. No. What were the drinks called?
Oh, the stun mullets.
The stun mullets.
Stun mullets.
I saw a girl drink
you
one of these.
try ordering a real drink.
Taking off of all of her clothes and danced the pony on this very table. What does that mean for me? I bought you 2. But since Scuba has not seen this movie before, I'm going to give him the floor first. 1 out of 5 surfboards. What do you rate this movie? I feel a disturbance in the force.
Look, guys, I understand that this movie holds a special place in your hearts.
No.
And I'm never the one to fucking drop the score, but I feel like today that role is mine.
Oh,
and you didn't. I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Oh God,
it's not horrible. It's there. You know what I mean? Like, it's a film that exists, and it's not a bad film, but it's not a great film. So I have to be right in the middle with it.
Damn. My 11-year-old Zodiac is very, very sad right now.
Maybe
that
if I'd
his
have watched
future
it as a
friend-
kid, I'd have the same, love that you guys have for it. But
Fair enough. That's fair.
watching it as an adult for the first time that had never seen it before, just
And that's
doesn't hit the
fair though,
same.
because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of movies that we watched as kids that we love that you probably have never seen, and
Star
vice
Trek.
versa. There's probably
Sorry,
some that
I had to
you've
sneeze.
seen that we've never seen that you probably fucking love. So it evens out. I get that. Okay, Psycho. What's your take on this?
Look, I mean, this is a movie that I watched early, and I did know who pretty much all the cameos are, whether I knew them from the different TV shows. Gilligan's Island was a big deal back at the time. I know, Mom, we also watched the new Leave It to Beaver, so I knew who all the Beaver characters
Disney
were.
Channel,
Thank you very much. On the Disney Channel, thank you. So that actually helped, and I'm sorry, but I mean, yes, it's a cheesy movie. It's a corny movie. Even Annette at the end of the film looks into the camera, breaks the fourth wall. Are we not the corniest couple you've ever seen in your life or what?
Yep.
That pretty much tells you what you need to know. But I saw this movie before I was 10 years old. I love the soundtrack. I do like a lot of the characters. It's just a fun movie. It's something that you can't take too seriously, because if you do, it might turn you off. And there are some other elements of storylines going on here that are more interesting that I didn't get into because, we were kind of bouncing around there, but it's a fun little movie. I always enjoy it, and it's one of my favorites from the 80s. It's not perfect, so I give it a 4. I give it 4 surfboards. I still have fun, and right now I'm working on my top 25 movies of the 80s. This was a contender. I don't think it's going to make the top 25, but it was definitely in the running. So
fair enough, and I did get that link so I could start working on that for myself.
Yes.
I don't know if you know about this, Scuba, but some YouTuber set a challenge to other content creators to do their top 25 movies from the 80s. And that's think about all the really good movies that came out in the 80s. That's a tough list to come up with. Yeah,
I'm still ciphering through a lot of shit.
So
I know
this is going to take a couple
I know one of the movies in my top 10, The Last Dragon.
Yeah. Again, there you
Last
go.
Dragon,
Movie that
Big
you've
Trouble in
seen.
Little China. Like, yeah.
You say The Last Dragon, that's a movie that you've seen that we've never seen.
I've seen The Last Dragon.
Oh, you did see Last Dragon? Oh,
Fuck
then I guess I'm the only one.
I don't think you would like
Who's
it,
the
Zodiac.
master? I am.
Yeah. I
Come
don't
on,
know.
man.
You never know. I might like it. But all right. Lord Scuba Copper gives it a 2.5. Psycho Dare gives it a 4. And you know what? I can agree with that because, I don't expect people to like what I like. And if you are a person that likes a particular movie and someone doesn't like it, you shouldn't hate them. Understand why. Don't be spreading the hate. Now, if you don't like the He-Man movie, you're just fucking wrong because that's a fucking masterpiece. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. In fact, I might go watch it a third time before it goes away, just because. But 4, Back to the Beach. And again, this is a nostalgic trip, time capsule, whatever you want to call it. It is a funny little slice of Americana, California beach movie. I also give it a 4. Again, it's not perfect by any means. If it had boobies, it'd be fucking perfect, but it doesn't, so that's fine. It is what it is. But I give it a 4. Okay. So with the 2.5 and 2 4s, that gives us an overall score of a 3.5. And again,
that's fair.
And Scuba said this last week with New Nightmare that anything above a 3 is okay, cool. But if it had been a lower score, it's like, what the fuck are we watching here? So yeah. And again, I mean, if you're a fan of 80s corny, cheesy movies, give this movie a watch. It's a great fucking flick. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, so you may have to rent it on like Fandango or Amazon Prime or something like that. Or you can be cool like we are and have it in the cloud. Or even better, because y'all were talking about, I can't watch the movie if one of y'all's watching it at the same time on Fandango.
It's on Pluto for free.
Oh, it's on Pluto. No shit. Yep. Then watch it on Pluto. There you go. Little plug for Pluto there, which I love Pluto TV, by the way. I love it. But you can be cool like I do and have it on your hard drive, digital copy. We won't talk about how I got the digital copy. That's a whole other story. But we don't talk about the Pirate Bay, do we? It was Kazaa.
Yeah, right.
That's when you know you're old. You can talk about LimeWire. But with that being said, this will conclude our review of Back to the Beach. Again, not perfect, but not a piece of shit. We have yet to do a completely horrible movie, and I have 2 movies in mind that are complete pieces of shit that I want to do with the Crypt of Cringe down the road. But we'll talk about that another time. That being said, Psycho Nerd, promote your shit.
All right. Well, there's not much going on my podcast currently, but in the future, I will jump back into it. As far as my channel, you can find me on YouTube. I can't even talk. Repeat Movie Viewer. I do movie reviews. And later today, my Pete's House for the Toy Story franchise is going to be up, including my initial thoughts on the new Toy Story 5, which I've already seen twice. So,
fair enough.
Keep an eye out for that later today.
Lord Chupacabra, anything you want to promote, sir?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm your royal of rot, the dean of the deceased, the sinister minister himself, Lord Chupacabra, and I ain't got shit going on right now.
Tune into Gornmore.
Tune into Gornmore, because we're reviewing the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Shit.
That's all I got. That's a 5. That's a 5.
Is that the one where they went to the mall?
Yes.
Okay.
And the original, they do the same thing.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't.
And I've been to the mall.
Oh, nice.
Man, I fucking hate you.
I went to Steel City.
I want to go there.
I got to see George Romero's fucking head bust.
Nice.
Pretty dope.
You
Nice.
suck.
And, of course, with Real Zodiac Productions, Real spelled REEL, a little play of words there. We have both DJ Zodiac Podcast, the greatest wrestling podcast you've never heard of, as well as this podcast, The Real Movie Critics, Real Reviews by Real. Don't put the butt plug in your nose. You don't know where that butt plug's been.
I know exactly where it's been.
In your butt.
In my butt.
Ew. What does it smell like, Jason?
The fewer questions we ask about that, the better, I think.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then again, the Real Movie Critics, Real Reviews by Real Fans, and the Zodiac Podcast, the greatest wrestling podcast you've never heard of, are both on that YouTube channel. Again, that's the Real Zodiac Productions. You can also find those podcasts on Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts. One final note I want to say, the true inspiration for this review, and this is something I've wanted to do since the very beginning, and I know the Psycho is doing this as a tribute. He's doing the marathon series in tribute to our buddy Pete, who did pass away, 6 years ago now.
Dude, it's been 6 years already?
It's been 6 years. He passed away right at the beginning of the pandemic, like right at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And I remember him talking about this movie, and when he told us that, oh, I love Back to the Beach, we were like, what? Like, it was just,
dude, we should totally watch it.
Yeah, 100%. And it's one of those movies that connects us to him, even though he's not here. And so we just want to say to Pete, I know he's not here, but we do miss you, buddy. And, we miss you. It's just not, the movies are just not the same without him. Especially Marvel movies. Oh my God, Marvel movies are just nowhere near what they used to be. Because he, his smart ass comments, quit being gay, shit like that. It's just, and I hear that in my head every now and again when I'm doing something stupid. Don't be gay. Like,
yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But for the Psycho Nerd and for Lord Chupacabra, I am DJ Zodiac. This is our final word on today's movie. Whether you loved it, hated it, or if you fell asleep halfway through it and woke up wondering what the fuck just happened, we would love to hear your thoughts. So make sure you're subscribe, and following the show, and leave us a review wherever you get your podcast from. And until next time, keep the popcorn hot, the drinks are cold, and remember, the credits may be rolling, but the conversation is just getting started. We'll see you at the movies.
Lights go down, the screen comes alive.